they want to be in front of a computer screen. That's where they're most comfortable.
Yeah.
And there's
that's what they're accustomed to.
It's what they're accustomed to, and it's a little sick. But for me, I love that I grew up without that, and now we have it. But I like that I didn't grow up in front of that screen.
Yeah. Well, I
personally
think it definitely does something about your social development. And there was an article recently about how it affects children's brains in a measurable way, like this connection to social media.
Yeah.
It's
for
undeniable. If you're not interacting with people for the most part, and you're most of the time, like if your job is to be a streamer,
right?
And the more you stream, the more money you make, and you're just streaming all day, your connection with humans has got to be very strange and different than anybody that's ever existed before.
Yeah, it's very interesting
because you are interacting with people.
Yes,
but you're not interacting with anybody in person.
Right.
A lot of it is just you putting something out there, and then people reacting to the thing you put out there. It's almost like sending a messenger pigeon.
It's very interesting. It's definitely a unique vantage point where, because you're also dealing with people online that a lot of them are anonymous. Mm-hmm. A lot of them are kind of, it's different than it would be if they were in front of you, speaking to you face to face. People are, really either trolling or they have their guard down. They're saying whatever they want to say. Some of them are being completely honest. Some of them are just trying to have fun. Some of the,
Yeah.
So you get to see maybe the best and worst. I don't know. It's interesting.
Well, you get to see what people are like in the back of their mind without social interaction, without communicating with people. You get to see those the little base thoughts that people have.
Right.
Shitty ideas that people have about other people, and just the shitty ideas they have about themselves.
Right.
It's astounding to me how many people, when I go on social media, if I just randomly scroll through Twitter, how many people talk about their mental health and how bad their mental health is.
It's because I talk a lot about it on stage now, having a mother who's mentally ill, genuinely, right? And I don't mean that other people, that obviously mental illness it's running rampant, but it does also seem like there's a difference between the mental illness my mother has, where she's a schizophrenic. Genuine she didn't diagnose herself on Instagram. She's in an institution. She cannot live in and I think that's different than for example, depression. And depression is a very bad thing, but there's clinical depression. There's also situational depression where some of the things that you're doing or eating or whatever, and there's
how do you discern what's the cause, though?
It's very difficult.
Because when someone is diagnosed with clinical depression, but then you look at their actual lifestyle and you look at what they're doing and what's fulfilling about their life, you're like, well, of course you're depressed. If you clean that up, how much of it would affect? I don't want to be dismissive of people with real depression because I know people that have it.
Yes.
And I know people that have taken antidepressants and it changed their life, and then they weaned off of them, and then they're infinitely better off than they were before they took them.
Yeah.
Because they were on the verge of suicide.
Some people have a chemical imbalance, and some people that can be corrected with medicine. Some people really, the depression comes from a situation in their life they can clear up. Some people have anxiety because, again, they have this disorder. But then there's a lot of people that have anxiety because, maybe they're in a job they hate.
Yeah.
Maybe they're in a bad relationship.
And then there's some people that just genetically, their brain is fucked.
That's right.
That's real.
That's true.
Yeah, there's people, and that's schizophrenia.